Okay, good afternoon, everyone. I just want to start off and thank you for being patient. I know we're about 8 minutes behind here, and we had some technical issues, but we are good to go right now. So we're going to jump in head first to this great presentation. So, number one, what is this all about, right? This Thursday afternoon. And if you've been an agent with Levinson for a while, you've heard me speak about the scholarship program, tuition reward, SAGE, right? All the above. And either A, you are leveraging this great platform to help your clients, right? And their children or grandchildren, or B, you heard the name, the word, the program, and you haven't dove in yet. So, my goal is that by the time we are done, and we'll wrap up before 3 p.m. Eastern Time, that you know enough to be dangerous, okay? And you enroll in the platform as a active Levinson agent and start seeing the value here and start marketing, getting the word out to all of your prospects and clients because number one, no one else has this unless they're a Sage enrolled agent. Okay, this gives you a huge leg up against your competition. The best part is we pay the fee. Okay, so you don't have to pay for yourself to get enrolled as the agent or the consumers. So I think, and I love to use this analogy. Think of Delta frequent flyer points. Okay, that's exactly the way tuition rewards works. Okay, so just sit back, relax, add notes, questions, comments in that Q&A pane. Okay, as we go, Andrew's going to do his best to answer all questions that come in. And then, worst case, we will circle back after 3 p.m. and get all of your questions answered. And most important, make sure that you are enrolled in the program as an agent with Levinson. Okay. All right. So, what we're going to do, let's jump into the first slide. We actually have the Sage CEO that is joining us. He's going to speak in just a couple minutes here. So, it's going to be an awesome feature presentation. If we can go into the first slide, Andrew, I want to talk about most important to us, right, is our customer, is our agents. So we do not sell on a retail level, as you know, whatsoever. We don't have a call center in the back room. We are 100% laser focused on our agents' success. Okay, number one, first and foremost. In fact, that's another reason why we have the tuition rewards program for our agents because we know there's so much value here that you can bring out to the consumers, to the prospects, right? To show how not only can you help them with a life insurance policy, but you can also help with little Johnny or little Shelly's 4 year tuition. Okay, so again, lots of value for our agents. And this is why, if you're also building your downline, recruiting other agents, these are things that you can use, right, to show the value by working with you as a GA or MGA. Anyway, Kent and Marty, I appreciate you both for sharing these great reviews. Okay, what I want to ask from each and every one of you is please keep sharing, right? We literally pass this around to every Levinson employee in 4 different states, and this is the icing on the cake for us. It makes our day, it makes our week. Okay, we strive so hard, right, to make sure our agents are happy, right? 99% of the time this happens. And then for the 1% chance that it doesn't happen, Carrie and myself, we're here to jump in and try to make it right for you. Okay, that's our promise is shoot us an email or pick up the phone and call us directly and we'll jump in. Okay, and if it has to do with a carrier, we'll get the VP on the phone and see what we could do. All right, let's keep moving forward. This is my last slide. I want to talk about the expo, which is literally a week away now, next Friday, April 17th. And I hope you are registered by now because we're capped at 300 agents for this event per the fire code. Make sure, I think you have until Monday to RSVP, but make sure you get it in ASAP. We're going to send out a thank you email to everybody that's on the call today. We'll include all of the tuition rewards, brochures, a lot of the information, the enrollment link, everything, all the above, including the Expo RSVP link. So you'll have this in your inbox tonight. These are just a few reasons I want to mention why it's so important that as an insurance agent in 2026, you need to be at this event. Number one, it's free. It's 100% complimentary. We bring in breakfast, snacks throughout the day. We have a networking lunch on the ocean, right on the beach in Deerfield in South Florida. Okay. So again, 100% complimentary. We have our 13 core carriers on the life side, the annuity side, and of course the new senior health side. Okay, so this is a new department, a new launch next Friday. Also, our three keynote presenters are in front of you. What I love about this lineup, number one, Mike Vitri is a Forbes Council member, brings a lot to the table with business in general, inside and outside of our industry. Joe Ross, top right hand corner, he is the most sought after IUL sales coach, bar none. Okay, so he's going to speak. He's, in fact, keynote number two, and then keynote number three is the new executive from AmeriLife who helped build the new Transamerica World Financial Group from 22,000 agents to almost 100,000 agents over the last, I think it was like 7 years. So he's got a great story to tell. Anyway, the name of the game is sales ideas you can walk away with that evening, right, to start moving the needle for 2026 in your own practice. All right, let's jump into our feature presentation here. I think you get the point of the expo is very important for you to be at. Without further ado, I have Michael Hall, who is the Sage Tuition Rewards CEO, joining us. Michael, are you there?
I am here. Can you hear me?
You're loud and clear.
Good deal. Thanks. Thanks for the introduction. So, of course, my name is Michael Hall. I'm the CEO here at Sage Scholars. I've been the CEO and an employee here only since 2017, but I've really been involved with this company since almost the beginning. I was always the outside CPA for Sage. So I sort of watched this company grow from an early stage, and I've been involved with it for a very, very long time. And when I tell people, people ask me, what do you do for a living? What does this company do that you work for? Like Sage Scholars, like, what is it? And it's not an easy company to really explain to people. So I always actually lie to people. I tell them we're like enrollment consultants for colleges, but we're so much more than that. So what I'd like to do today is just take you back to when this company was founded and let you understand exactly how this company began. And that'll give you an idea of really what we do and how we offer to you scholarships to offer to your clients for free. Because when I tell people, when I start with that and I say, well, we sort of have scholarships from 450 colleges that we're allowed to give out for free to families, you know, you see the eyes roll and people are like, how do you do that? So anyway, back in 1994, the guy who founded the company was in the education space. He was the admissions director at one point for the Wharton School, and he was a marketing professor. And he noticed back in the early 90s, colleges first started having the same problems that they're having today. They've never corrected their business model. Colleges back in the early 90s, families thought tuition was getting way too expensive, and they started to question the value of a college education. What colleges love to do is they like to compete on price. They all publish this tuition. When you go on their websites, they love to see their tuition $63,000, $65,000 a year. Then you add room and board in, which is not cheap, and you multiply it by 4, and families, like, their heads explode, right? I mean, these people are your clients. Think about it. You go into a client and they're trying to save for retirement, and you say, hey, we got to talk about college. And the kid, you know, they have a child who might be 4 years old. People are like, you know, what are you talking about? I mean, we're trying to buy a new house. How are we going to save all that money for college? let's put that off. Well, that's always the case. And people start to really deal with the cost of college when their kids are applying to college. Therefore, we have the student debt crisis we have today, because at that point, the only way to really deal with it is to borrow. Everybody takes student loans, private student loans. Student loan debt is just completely out of control. And the problem is colleges, they frustrate people, and they frustrate their planning by publishing tuition way up here, and then they discount, but nobody knows about it. Nobody can figure out what the discount is, so you can't take it and calculate it into your plans. The only way to know what you're going to pay for college is to apply, get accepted, and get that award letter. And the award letter is really based on the FAFSA that you fill out, which gives the college information about how much money you have and what you earn. And then they factor that into this award letter, and they give you a discount. And the discount is different for every family. It's like flying on a plane. I mean, if you're on an airplane with 250 people, there's no two people on that plane that pay the same price for a ticket. Everybody gets a different deal. That's college. Every student in a seat has paid a different price. And that whole situation just frustrates people. Most people don't plan for college because of that. So the guy who started the company saw all this going on, and he went to colleges and he said, look, this is a crazy business model. You're doing it all wrong. Back in 1995, he said to colleges, one by one, he had to go around to colleges one by one, and he said, look, I'm going to start a company. These discounts that you give, it doesn't cost you anything. It's not money. It's a discount. Give it to me. Give me the discount, and I'll let families know what the discount is that they're going to get, and they're going to think it's coming from me. I'm going to give you cover. You don't have to tell them up front about the discount, because you don't want to do that. You give it to me. I'll tell the families I have these discounts. I'll let them know exactly what it is. And because of that, people can begin to understand how they're going to afford and save for college. So one by one, he went to private, not public. We only deal with private nonprofits. And the reason for that is public universities, what they're supposed to do, public universities accept federal money. And once you accept federal money, you're only supposed to give need-based aid. Our program is merit-based, has nothing to do with need. If you're a Bill Gates kid, you can get the SAGE scholarship. Doesn't matter how rich you are, how much money you have. SAGE is a merit program. So we only deal with private institutions. So one by one, he went around to colleges. They signed a contract that said, we will by contract give SAGE up to 1 year's free tuition spread equally over 4 years. It's a guaranteed by contract 25% discount if you can find us families that we can recruit in a database from. So he's got these contracts. Now he had to find families, and he couldn't charge families for this program because you can't sell scholarships. So he figured the only way to do this was to go to the people that had families as clients who save, who plan. They're the perfect families for colleges to recruit from. So he went to the financial community. He went to insurance agents and financial planners, and he started charging them one by one to come into this program. And if they pay an administrative fee to SAGE, they're able to give their clients these tuition reward points, which is how he built the program. These discounts we call tuition reward points. Each point is equal to a $1 discount off the list price of tuition at each of our 450 schools. So that's how the whole program began. It took many years to get where we are with 450 schools. But today we have about 8 million families earning these points that max out per student at 1 year's tuition, spread equally over 4 years. So as you could see, the program was built on your clients earning these points, but they can only be used by their children because back in the early 90s, the only people who went to college were high school seniors going full-time in person. And that's the only way you can redeem a point. It has to be used full-time in the seat in person at a 4-year program. So the reward program was built around the kids, but earned by the adults. So as time went on, that was the program, tuition reward points only, used by the kids. Somewhere around 2018, 2019, the schools started telling us, hey, the largest cohort going to college today, and basically the most important cohort, was what the schools started calling the adult learner. The adult learner started returning to college in numbers, but by and large, the adult learner goes to school part-time online. This is people who have a job, dropped out of college to get a job, started a family. They realize, hey, I have to complete my degree if I want to, continue my career, get a promotion, whatever, or I have a bachelor's degree and now I realize I need a master's degree. That's the cohort the colleges really started wanting to reach out to and recruit. We have all your clients on our database, but we didn't have a program for them because the points couldn't be used by the adults because the adults don't go full-time in person. So we went back to our schools one by one and said, hey, we're going to start a new program. We have this new program, which is included in the benefit you can, pass on to your clients. We call it Sage Prime. We went back to our schools one by one. Currently, we have 51 prime schools. The list is growing. What a prime school gives your clients, our sponsors, if any of the adults in the database want to go back to college for any reason, undergraduate or master's degree, get those degrees. And if they want to go online part-time, 51 of our schools will give them a flat 10% off the list price of any course that they want to take. We have a couple of schools with a 15% discount and 1 or 2 schools with a 20% discount off of these courses. So that is our second benefit that most people don't know about. We call it Sage Prime. Fast forward to the pandemic. When the pandemic rolled around, colleges shut down. And as you know, for 2 years, kids went remote. Coming out of the pandemic, a lot of empty seats, schools panicked, and they said, we got to fill these seats. What are we going to do? So a new, we call it an enrollment paradigm came about. Schools call it direct admissions. Schools realized not only the list price of tuition frustrates families, but the application itself frustrates a lot of people. College applications are really long, a lot of information. They get more applications people start and abandon than they do applications people complete. So they said, first thing we do away with this application. The second thing a lot of schools did was they went test optional. They said, if you don't want to take the SAT, don't take it. And the reason they did that is because for 2 years during the pandemic, there was no SAT. They had no test. Now, why that's important is because the largest source of students for colleges, every college in the country, is lists. Every school in the country buys lists that they market to. The largest list seller in the country is the College Board. The College Board is the company that owns the SAT. 1.5 million kids take the SAT each year, and the College Board sells the name, the email address, and the SAT score to every school in the country for about 50 cents a name. Schools pay hundreds of thousands of dollars a year for that list. And all they get are 3 things: name, email address, SAT score. They don't know anything else about these kids. They don't know what they want to be when they grow up. They don't know what these kids are, want to major in, where they want to go to school. It's like blind recruiting. They mail out postcards, millions of them. They send millions of text messages, millions of emails. They don't even know who they're recruiting. But that was the most important recruiting source for colleges for years and years and years, was that list. Well, for 2 years, it dried up. Colleges had a big problem. So every college in the country went, they thought, we're going to start this new admissions paradigm, they called it, direct admissions. The state of Michigan, a couple of other states, actually for state schools, mandated by law. Direct admissions is school set published criteria. If you meet these criteria, minimum GPA, for instance, just let us know you want to come. You don't even have to fill out an application. You're admitted. You cannot be a reject. So Sage started right after the pandemic. They said, wow, direct admissions, we need a direct admissions program. So we started a program called Fast Track. We have 108 Fast Track schools right now. And what that is we've built a resume that the kids can fill out. So your clients, the minute their kids turn 14 years old and enter high school, that's the first time the kids are allowed on our platform. So we've built a recruiting platform called Fast Track, and we encourage the kids to come into Fast Track at 14 and build this resume that we call a profile. The profile is anything that you think is useful for recruiting purposes to a college. Put down the courses you're taking, your grades. If you have a job after school, please put it down. If you volunteer somewhere, put it down. We allow the kids to upload videos. Kids are uploading thousands of videos, either sports related, theater, if they're in a band, anything, they can upload videos. The 108 colleges that are in Fast Track have access to these profiles. And now they're downloading every week all of these profiles, and they can filter them any way, shape, or form. A school can go in and they can say, give me all the kids that want to major in biology. Give me all the kids that are involved in theater. Give me all the kids that want to play Division III tennis. Any way they want to recruit. If they have a need in any area of the college, they can filter, download these profiles, and schools are now starting to recruit like they've always recruited star athletes. They're the kids that got recruited in the past. If your kid was the quarterback or the pitcher, they had athletic directors up in the stands waiting to talk to the family. They had no idea who the biology majors were, who the language majors were, who wanted to go to school for poli-sci, whatever. Those kids, they had no idea who they were. Now through the profile, the schools know who those kids are, and they're recruiting kids in areas and ways never thought possible before. Our schools tell us we have no way to get the data on families and students like Sage provides us. We can't get that anywhere. We buy these lists, we pay a lot of money for them, and we get a name and an email address and the SAT score. That's all we know. They do backflips over the data that we have now on the families. So I think the Fast Track program is our strongest benefit that we offer families today. And by the way, we have, about the discount points that your clients earn by being your client. Well, now we have something called student points. The client points that you give away go to the parents, the sponsors. The students themselves now earn 9,000 points a year if they completely fill out the profile, freshman, sophomore, junior year. So we give away 27,000 additional points each year over the course of 4 years of high school to the kids just by filling out the profile. I think that's our greatest benefit is Fast Track. So our three main benefits, again, are tuition reward points, Sage Prime for the adults, and Fast Track, which is our new recruiting platform. We're like everybody else in the world, we're also working on an AI-enabled search features, and I can't even begin to understand what the IT department's doing with all that. But I think in about 6 months, we're going to be a whole different platform. But in a nutshell, that's who we are. That's how we started. That's where we are today. We're always looking to add benefits. And I'll tell you this, if we get a lot of requests from your clients who look at our school list, and of course, I mean, it's human nature. You're always going to have clients who say, oh, why isn't this school involved in Sage? We want our kid to go here. They're not in Sage. We have a tool. Tell your clients, please, we encourage this. We want this. We have a tool where if there's a school that's an eligible school, a private nonprofit that's not in Sage that your clients like, they can download a template letter. All they have to do is fill in their name and address, the school, and through our, when they log in through the client portal, they zip an email right out to the school. It's already written for them. It says, hey, we're really interested in going there, but you're not in Sage. Can you consider being a Sage member? And then we get that, and then we follow up and we contact the school and say, look, you've got these families that really want to go to your school, but you're not in Sage. They, join the program. And that's how we recruit, a large way that we recruit additional schools. So that's something else your clients can do. So, that in a nutshell, that's who we are, what we do, and you use this program to recruit new clients and to keep clients as a client over the years. Sage has built this program as a client acquisition and a client retention tool. Our schools give us 1 year's free tuition to give to your clients. They have never told us how to give these points out. They would actually like us to give everybody a free year up front because they want people to have max points, because that makes their school more attractive to people if they have max points. But we've built the program to dole the points out ratably over the years to use as a client retention tool. And we're always open to new suggestions, not only with new schools, but if you new programs. We've had people all the time say, why don't you do this? Reach out to us, call us. We're open to everything. The sky's the limit here. This whole industry is evolving, and it's, we're glad to be here. So, Bill, thank
Good
you.
stuff. Yep.
If there's anything I left out, or if you have any questions, please.
And you still have the college navigator site, if I recall. Is that still up and running?
Ready, Set College?
Yep, exactly. Yep.
Ready, Set College is out there. So we have an alternate website called readysetcollege.org. And what that is, it's for the students, the high school students. It's a platform to research schools, research careers, research majors. Tuitionrewards.com. It's the business website that's, log in, take care of your account, view your points, submit your points to a school. Ready, Set College is a college, investigation, career investigation platform for the high school students. Yes.
Got it. Okay, perfect. No, that was excellent. Yeah, we've been a part of the program for over 15 years now with Dr. Jim Johnston. So
Yes.
I remember I even flew up to the home office there. So we had many good years. The agents love it, and it works. It's a win-win-win for everyone involved at the end of the day. So it's a no-brainer.
Yeah, we're glad to have you, and people love it. I mean, we've been here, like I said, since the late November 1994 exactly is when this company was incorporated. So we've been here a long time, over 30 years. In this space, we're probably the oldest company in the country.
Wow, it's a great story. So today currently there's over what 450 colleges?
Yeah, it goes up and down by about 5 a year. And the reason is every year we'll lose 5 to 7 schools due to closures and mergers. A lot of the smaller schools today are either closing or merging. I hope there's going to be an end to that soon. And we'll pick up 5 or 7 new schools a year. And the reason for that, we used to pick up 30, 40 schools a year, but as we got from 300 to 400 to 450, the population of schools that are candidates to be in Sage, the numbers out there just aren't that many anymore. There's probably 600 in the country that would be real good candidates. And as you approach that 600 number, you're just not going to be getting 25 and 30 a year.
Yep, got it. Understand. And I know we have a few great ones here locally in South Florida and Central Florida. So no, this was great, Michael. I'm gonna switch gears here, and I want to show everyone some great sales ideas, marketing material, and share how other agents are using the platform successfully today. So we're gonna we'll dive in. But Michael, once again, I appreciate your time. And I look forward to meeting you in person soon. We'll hopefully be
Yeah,
up there in PA.
good deal. Let me know.
Good stuff. Yep, absolutely. Thanks again. All right, Andrew, let's jump in to my first slide here on the back end. Perfect. Okay. So, obviously you see the value here. And what's crazy is I mentioned, about 15 years we've been involved in the program. They used to work, and this is how I got wind of this. They would work with Wells Fargo investment clients. So anyone that was an investment client with Wells Fargo would get access to tuition rewards. And we came along and said, wow, this would be great if we can work with maybe Allianz, right? And anyone that purchased an IUL, we give the family, right, the breadwinner, whoever the insured, this scholarship program. This is a win-win. So I flew out to the home office, and sure enough, we got this approved. And then my next stop was Kansas City at Kansas City Life, and it took about 3 to 5 months. But guess what? We got Kansas City Life approved. And then you fast forward to today, and we have 15 carriers that approved the platform. And here's the biggest thing, right? And a lot of agents would say to me, they're like, "Oh, Bill, how is the insurance company okay with it? Is it rebating? Is compliance okay?" And here's the key, right? And this is what everyone has to understand. And in fact, what these 15 insurance companies understand and understood at that time is, number one, there's no value, right, to the scholarship. It's not like if little Johnny doesn't go to Embry-Riddle, for example, okay, and he winds up going to Florida State University and doesn't use the program, they can't trade it in or sell it on Amazon. Okay, it's just like frequent flyer points. So the value is at the particular college, okay, at the private college. So that's number one, right? There's no value to the platform. Number two is, not only is it good for the new policyholder, right, which is great, especially for an agent marketing this, but it's also good for every policy holder that purchased an Allianz IUL, for example. Okay, so just think about that. So it's not just good for the guy or girl that's buying the policy today, it's good for every policy holder that you sold to in the past as well for that approved carrier and product. So if you love Allianz, right? You're writing a ton of IUL with Levinson and Associates. You're also a Sage agent, which is free. I already explained. Not only can you use this on your next Friday night appointment at 7 p.m., right, to get the deal closed because they have three children, 1, 3, and 4, okay, but you can also go back to every single policy holder that bought an Allianz IUL from you and say, great news, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, because I'm a tuition reward Sage agent with Levinson, okay, and here's my account, here's my ID, right? We give you everything. You're now entitled to this free scholarship program for your children, your grandchildren, or any blood family member, any blood relative. Okay, so think about what that's going to do. Mr. Smith and Mrs. Smith, they're going to say, oh my gosh, you become like Superman. You mean there's no charge? There's no fee involved? No. No, I'm a Sage approved agent. I have you full access to the platform. Unbelievable. Oh, by the way, do you have any referrals for me that you think would also use my services? Okay. Think about where that can take you. And that's with any approved carrier and products that are in the program. Okay. So hopefully right now your mind is racing and you're writing this down because every agent in the world, right, is thinking about leads. How am I going to open doors? How am I going to share my story? Right? There's over 1 million agents in this country. What's going to be my leg up? Well, what a great story to tell. Education, right? We always talk about educate, educate, educate. And now you're educating and you're also sharing this great story and a great platform that you're involved with and you can give out. And it's at the end of the day, 1 year scholarship to these 457 colleges in the country. Okay. That's huge. So anyway, and then once you start like that college navigator, ready, set, sell, if you log in there, and we'll share all of this at the end of the day, but you can see all of the schools in the program. You can look at admission rates. You can see how long the school when they were established, who's in the executive team and the principals, everything. You name it, it's in this website. So it's very neat, and you can use this as another tool in the toolbox to open doors, right? And show the value add by working with you, right? Bill Levinson, Coral Springs, Florida, right? Huge leg up. That's how you got to look at this. I'm going to show you an example of what we did with an actual IUL for $100 a month. And I think you'll really see the value after I share this slide. Let's keep moving forward. How to get started, everything is on our website. And then it's literally like we have a direct to consumer a registration link once you have a consumer that buys an approved product. But it's the same for you, right? As an agent to register on the platform, it's direct to the agent, fill out the info, approved, and you're in, just like that. So we made it very, very simple. And by the way, obviously you have to be appointed with Levinson with that particular carrier before you're Sage approved. So if it's Allianz, great. Assurity Life, Kansas City Life, just make sure you're appointed with us and then you get free access. Okay, let's keep moving forward. Remember what Michael just mentioned about the points, right? Every point is $1, and I look at it like frequent flyer points with Delta, okay? And he also mentioned retention, right? Agents are always looking at, oh my gosh, I hope this policy doesn't lapse, especially in year 1 or 2, right? And my persistency has to be 70% or higher. Well, there's no better way, right, to keep these policies in force. Why? Because every year the policies in force, guess what? More points, more money into that tuition rewards bank, so to speak. Okay, so check fast just for meeting with the client. Okay, even if they don't buy the policy, if you discuss the platform, 500 points. Okay, you enroll them in tuition rewards, even without buying a product, 500 points or dollars for scholarship. Okay, what does it mean? You can have a seminar tonight, okay, at Joe's Steakhouse, invite 50 people, talk about IUL, talk about my legacy plan. I'm going to show you in a few minutes for $100 a month on little Jenny, right? This is the cash accumulation and this is the scholarship points in 20 years. And look what happens. Your 24 grand turns out to be $80,000, right? Plus, God forbid, little Jenny passes away. There's a tax-free death benefit paid. It's a win-win-win. Well, guess what? Instead of just a free buffet, you can also give every person that attends this $500 or point gift card, okay, without even buying the policy. So anyway, love that. Or it could even be one-on-one at the local Starbucks or Publix or soccer field, right? You're meeting the parents in the bleachers. 500 points. Anyway, year one, if they happen to purchase the policy, another 4,500 points. That's already 5,000 points or dollars for tuition. Okay. Now, if the client sends you a referral, right? We're always looking for a referral stream. Well, guess what? Another 500 points. Years two and after, as long as the policy stays in force, another 2,000 points. What happens at your annual policy review? Another 500 points. Now, we all know as insurance agents, how difficult is it to get back in the door a year after you sold a policy? Well, rest of the week I'm busy too. Can we do this next month, right? And maybe you have a 50-50 shot at getting back in the door. Guess what? When you're giving 500 more points or dollars towards tuition rewards, guess what? It makes it pretty simple. It's all about leverage, right? At the end of the day, and you're giving this extra 500. You remind the client of that. And guess what? Other 500 points. What happens after years? Almost $50,000 for tuition rewards. Okay, that's 1 to 2 years paid of college tuition, 25%. It's huge. Okay, depending on the price of college. So this is how, and it's not, I don't want to confuse anyone, right? What you have to do is think of it like every point is once you're enrolled in tuition rewards agent, you'll see your account, and then once the consumer is old, it's just like an Bank of America check. So log in mobile app or their desktop, they could money is in their checking account. Same thing for tuition rewards. Oh, I have 500 points, 7,000, 11,000. Oh, I have a new pool in the program in South Dakota. I didn't know about that. Great. Everything is in front of them. It's very simple. And guess what? Every time they log in to check their points, they're going to see your name, the tuition rewards agent that enrolled them, your picture, logo, right? Phone number, email. So it keeps your name in front of these clients. So again, it's priceless. Okay, this is priceless if you're using it the right way. It's and think about this for a second, right? Your Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. You need to think of good paid ads to right. This is like a lottery. Once you talk about, let's say, turn a premium, okay, IUL, and look at the scholar side on top of it, so the value or the premiums back into and the 1,000 points. It's a no-brainer if you spin it and market it the right way, and people are going to comment and like it. Okay, I'm going to run through this quickly. Let's jump into the next slide. There we go. Okay, and by the way, we're going to send everything out in the thank you email, so you'll be able to go through this whenever you get a chance, this evening or tomorrow, over the weekend, whatever it is. And if you have questions, call, email us, or even next Friday at the expo. Come see us in person. We would be more than happy to dive in here. Okay, so real fast, all participating carriers. Okay, that's everything that you're looking at on this slide. Okay, so if you have questions about product availability, if you're using this on Insure Me Now Direct, everything is noted. We have a little asterisk, or like I said, call any one of our marketers, and we also have a Sage section on our website. So whatever more convenient for you. And what's so neat about this too, this applies to life insurance, annuities, and the new senior health side as well. For example, Mutual of Omaha has some great health products. Guess what? It's approved in the tuition rewards program. American Equity, Kansas City Life has some great annuities. Okay, and the list keeps going. Anico is a sponsor at our expo.
great annuity products, Allianz, great on the IUL side and on the FIA side. So I love the options here because we have all bases covered for the platform. Okay, so whatever product they're interested in, we should have something very competitive for that consumer. Let's keep moving forward. I want to try to get everyone out on time too. I know we were a little late here. Let's keep going. There we are. Insure Me Now Direct. So here's what's so neat about this. As you know, Insure Me Now Direct is a 100% direct-to-consumer portal or platform. Think of it like Amazon, right? You go on, you can buy a pair of tennis shoes, dog food, garbage bags for the house, right? Whatever it is, all the above. Well, this is very similar, right? But it's built for you, the insurance agent, to market to consumers. Okay, so number one, we have a brand new carrier we are launching at the Expo, NCD by MetLife. So we're going to have 3 new products on the platform by the Expo, which is very exciting. That's our 5th carrier. But here's what's so cool. So let's just say you sell a Allianz IUL tonight, okay? Not on this platform, okay? And the client says, Bill, I want to be involved in tuition rewards. This is great. Okay, how do you, the agent, right, or Bill, get them enrolled? You can literally use your Insure Me Now Direct site to log them in and get them enrolled in the platform, or they can do it themselves if you email them the link. There's a button that says tuition rewards. They click, and then what they will see, if you keep moving forward, let's go to the next slide. Everything is in front of them, so it works just like an Amazon, but for tuition rewards, okay? See the scholarship rewards, top left corner, and then boom, your app is ready. It says free, apply, done. So you can either do this, right, if they're buying a product on the platform, or the client can do this, or even if they're not buying a product on the platform, send them to your site right after. They can self-enroll in tuition rewards. We make it so simple. Let's keep moving forward. By the way, what I would do, you know, it really doesn't matter if it's an Insure Me Now Direct carrier and product or not, right? Have them self-enroll on your Insure Me Now Direct page because you're also getting free exposure, right, to other products on your platform, right? It's all about driving traffic. Anyway, everything is 1, 2, 3. It says begin registration and done. Let's keep moving forward. What I want to do real fast is talk about some great sales ideas, right? So now you know about this great platform. It's complimentary if you're 11th an agent. How do I get the word out? Okay, so number one, bottom right corner, that's me. And I have a Ask Me About Free Scholarships pin. We have agents that wear these pins to different networking events, expos, if they're running a mortgage protection booth. Okay, they literally wear these to the supermarket. Why? Because people say, wait a minute, free scholarships, tell me more. Boom, you just made a new sale. Okay, so anyway, the list goes on and on. We have just some agents that use that referral bonus. Some hold seminars and meetings for prospects, consumers. They give this $500 gift card out, which we have a certificate on the top right corner. We can send to you, and then of course we can co-brand it, whatever you need. If you keep moving down, we have the IUL legacy concept. We're going to show you in a minute. And then think about this for a second. I love this concept. Children's whole life, right? The ultimate door opener. What grandparent is going to say no to put a whole life policy on a grandchild, right? For $30 a month and a 1-year free scholarship that's included and the $32.22 a month premium? No one's going to say no to that. If you package in, let's say, the gift of life with Kansas City Life product with a free scholarship, look at the value add that you're giving. Okay, you know you're not going to get rich off a gift of life product, but will it open doors so you can pivot and share your story about annuities, right? Tax saving strategies, right? The list goes on and on. So anyway, that's how you got to look at this. These are awesome door opener products with Assurity, Manhattan Life, Gerber, Kansas City Life, and then the new NCD on the right-hand side, which is our latest Insure Me Now Direct carrier. All right, let's keep moving forward. What I want to do next is talk about a great concept that also comes with the scholarship program, and it's the Assurity Term Life with ROP. This is a no-brainer product. If you've been in the business a while, think back to mortgage protection leads, right? Mortgage protection insurance. It was such a great door opener, a great hook. especially when the real estate industry was booming. Everyone had the mailers. Anyway, fast forward 2026, Assurity has an awesome product, term with or without ROP, and these living benefit riders. So DI, critical illness, the return of premium, also chronic is included, non-med up to $1 million, and you could do all of this right through Insure Me Now Direct. So again, think Amazon direct to consumer, and then the free scholarship is like the right hook. Boom, you are done. You just made a new sale. And by the way, these aren't $32 a month cases. This is where it's going to, $150, $200, $250 a premium. So these are going to be nice cases for you, and it's a great way to transition with tuition rewards. Let's keep moving. I have my legacy concept in front of us. So the whole idea here was, let's say you're working, right, with maybe new moms, right, or young families, young professionals. And what we're doing here with this Allianz IULs, we're showing the daughter, right, at not even 1 year old, right, $100 a month. And here's what's so great about this. This is the IUL illustration on the left, tuition rewards chart on the right, after 20 years, okay? If you can spin this to a client, okay, it's 100%, there's no gray area here. After putting in $24,000, the total value of cash and tuition rewards scholarship over $80,000, okay? That's a huge, over 4 times return. And guess what? Okay, if little Jenny, God forbid, passes away, there's a death benefit tax-free that's coming to the parents, okay? Now, chances are that won't happen, God willing, right? But even if after 20, 21 years, they want to walk away with 70,000, right? 75,000, you can even keep the policy going because you're locked in at $100 a month. This could be used for retirement down the road as well. So you should be able to spin and market this concept with the tuition rewards, of course, packaged in. It's really a no-brainer. And I know I'm beating it to death, but I think once you go through this and the client says, oh my gosh, I wish I knew about this years ago, then you'll get it and remember this webinar that we had today and say, that Bill was right. It is a no-brainer. All right. Anyway, let's keep moving. I'm going to move through the next slides quickly because I know we're running a little late. So spreading the word, basically the way you need to look at this is, yes, send out your mailers, your e-blasts, get this posted on your LinkedIn, Facebook page, Instagram, even TikTok, right? The younger generation is on TikTok. We know that, right? We know B2C, business to consumers, the #1 platform, TikTok, B2B, it's LinkedIn. And then I would also mix in Meta, which is Facebook and Instagram. But social media has changed tremendously. If you're not posting at least once a week, or you have at least 1 to 2 paid ads running, if you're not doing that today, you're in reverse. Let's keep moving forward. I think you know how to get the word out. We can also help you with this. We have a bunch of co-brandable marketing material videos. We even have a section just focused on tuition rewards. Let's keep moving forward. The next slide, and I'm going to, like I said, move pretty quickly. We'll get to our question of the day. That is LeadStar, and they're going to be at our expo, by the way, which is a free CRM platform. It's a lead platform. There's a co-op discount rate for all the leads on the platform as well. If you're working senior health, by the way, that's a freebie. That's a no-brainer, okay? They have a dialer, built-in recorder, everything. All right, moving forward, back to social media. These are 2 posts that are performing great, over 100 likes, comments, and shares. And I always say, right, you don't have to go reinvent the wheel, just change a few spokes. These are 2 examples you can use this afternoon. I mean, right? Change, instead of the green and black, maybe make it gray or blue or whatever, change a line. But anyway, the proof is in the pudding, and this is working great for our 2 agents here, right? We know that for a fact. If you're not doing this, you're in reverse, period. So, and we'll talk about it at the expo, but I got a lot more to say about social media and the insurance industry. Let's keep moving forward. The podcast, by the way, these are 2 great episodes, and we have 2 new ones coming up that were just announced this morning. Anyway, premium finance in 2026. We have a great platform if you have a guy or girl Just under that, Carlin from Pac Life, she's our SVP. We have a $150 first app gift card, okay, or gas card. So write your first app with Pac Life, GUL, or term. And then with Michael on the top, you have a guy or girl that's net worth at least 10 to 15 or 10 to 20 million. They fit the criteria. We have a great solution. Average commission is about 100,000 to $1 million per case. Okay, that's a game changer. That's retirement talk. Okay, that'll make your year, make your life. Anyway, if you have a potential case, business owner, whatever, let us know. We'll tee that up for you. And they'll do all the heavy lifting as well. All right, let's keep moving. We're going to be done in about 2 minutes here. This is our 411 newsletter alert. So everything that we have going on the life side, senior health, annuity, supplemental products, everything is here. It should be sitting in your inbox every other week. If it's not, let us know. That means we have your incorrect email. The next slide is our menu of training events. So next week is our Expo week. It's crunch time here. It's absolute craziness. As you know, we're getting ready, right? We have 300 people coming into town. We're skipping next week. So we'll be back the following week with our social media hosting platform. And then, of course, our new carrier launch, NCD by MetLife. That's on the 30th. And then my number one favorite sales coach is back. Not only is he a keynote at the Expo, he's coming back for a live webinar with the $3 napkin sales idea. You're going to love Joe Ross if you haven't seen him yet. I promise you. In fact, if you don't, come see me at the Expo because I would be blown away if you didn't say, Bill, you were right. Final slide here, and we'll put a bow on this. Question of the day. But first, let me review my Positive Tuesday quote. We don't get to choose life's changes. We get to choose how they change us. Only you, me, only you control the destiny. Only I control the destiny for myself. We all get it, right? It's up to you to put your right foot on the gas, hammer it down, and do the absolute best job you can for yourself, your family, and your clients, and everything will come to the surface, right? We know how this works. Anyway, question of the day is, and once again, too, before I ask it, I want to apologize for these technical issues we had this afternoon. I'm very sorry about that. We had these two issues that will get edited, and then we'll send this out in a couple of weeks. And by the way, everyone's a winner. Leave a review. Go on our Google link or our Levinson Facebook page. Leave a review. We send you the IUL prospecting book on us. Okay? So you're a winner. But right now, you can win Apple AirPods and that prospecting book if you get your little fingers on your keyboard because you got to answer first and correct. We spoke about, obviously, tuition rewards. Two-part question. Tell me the cost of the program for you and tell me how many colleges are in the program today. Two-part question and answer. What's the cost for our agents and how many colleges are in the program? Andrew's going to tell us who was first and who was correct.
Okay, we have Christopher D. Number one.
What was it, Andrew? It broke off a little bit.
I have Christopher D.
Christopher D. Congratulations. The answer is a little trick question. The platform is free for agents and clients. 456 colleges in the platform today. Okay, you just heard the story. Hopefully you're going to go out and use this, market the program. There's so many ways you can get this out to the masses and move the needle for yourself and your practice. Okay, it's a ton of value add for life, health, and annuity. Have a great day, great weekend. In fact, we'll see you next week at the Expo, but then in 2 weeks for the following week's webinar. Great selling, and thank you again, everyone.